Black Ops 6 beta is now over. Yeah, I know, big sad, but we're going to go back. We're going to talk about the 3 positives and the 3 negatives that we had with the Black Ops 6 beta. On top of that, we're going to give the game an overall rating and what we thought about the 4 years of development that they had to produce Black Ops 6. Let's jump into my first positive, and I think the majority of the community and player base will agree with this. Movement. Movement was an easy 10 out of 10 on opening weekend. It was super fun. Once you figured out the Omni-Movement, how to chain a slide cancel with a dive, when to ego chow, when to dive behind cover, and etc., it got really fun. A lot of clips were being generated. A lot of content creators were having fun with it, and just players in general. I will say, if you're more of the casual player, it doesn't hurt you as much as what I thought. If you're a run and gun kind of guy, not really big into that whole Omni movement, if you play your cards right, you can still gun these people down. But we did figure out what happens when you remove movement completely from a game like Modern Warfare 2. People absolutely hate it. Now, I will say there is going to be a way bigger skill gap. These people like Jay Cucci, Diablo, Biffle, they're 100% going to take advantage of this, especially CDL players like Shotzi. Watch out. They're 100% going to put us in a blender. No questions about it. Even people that are movement, quote unquote, movement gods, you're going to get blundered from time to time. But at the same time, I'm still happy that, you know, a casual can get on and still just be able to outgun a person that's not using the movement correctly, if that makes sense, which a lot of you will probably argue on both sides. But I will say, once weekend 2 came out, the movement wasn't as good for me. It was unresponsive, it was laggy, it was delayed. All my settings were the same. I don't know what happened. I did have some packet bursting going on. So I will say, even though it's a positive in my book, I think we went a step back on opening weekend, and it wasn't near as good. Now, my negative number 1 is going to be the maps. I thought the maps were absolutely atrocious, besides, you know, Skyline. That's a classic map, obviously. Derelict, honestly, I didn't think was too bad, other than there's just a lot of unnecessary BS on there, that like the shrubs, the trees, a lot of clutter on that map, right? To where if they just clean that up, I think it has potential to be pretty good, honestly, in my opinion. Now let's go into like rewind. Honestly, I like the map, but there's nothing in the middle. You know, it's one avenue on the left hand side. You know, you got burger on the right, whatever, but it's just, there's one avenue pretty much. Yeah, you can go through the building stuff, I understand that, but there's just not really a dynamic to that map. Now, me personally, if we go to a small map like Babylon, I actually enjoyed it. What I thought made Babylon bad was the spawns. I thought the spawns were absolutely atrocious, but that's another topic. But other than that, it played good because I'm a small map kind of guy. Like, when I go into multiplayer, I want to play Shipment, Shoot House, Rust. Like, that's just who I am. I don't know, a lot of you people will disagree with that, but that's just who I am. I want to get in there, run, gun, you know, do the movement, etc. Figure out, you know, how to kill chain and get these kill streaks going. I'm not one that's gonna, you know, like derailed Modern Warfare 2, sit all the way in the back and with a sniper and a claymore. No, I'm not doing that. So for me, the maps were pretty awful, but a lot of that had to do with spawns, and then a lot of unnecessary just kind of BS that they could either add or remove, if that makes sense. Now, my positive number 2 is going to be the weapons. Now, hold tight here because I'm going to kind of contradict myself a little bit. In the beta, I think we got a good taste of the ARs, SMGs, sniper rifles. Fuck you shotgun players, I'm just saying that right now. I know there were certain guns like the Jackal that were just out of this world good, right? Using the weapons, I thought they felt good. What I don't like is the balancing of these weapons, which is kind of a beta thing. We kind of go through this every year, right? You got some SMG that's out beaming an AR, and it makes absolutely 0 sense. A game that they, quote unquote, had 4 years to develop, bullshit. I'll die on that hill. If you did spend 4 years developing it, it was lazy development, in my opinion, from what I saw. But back to the weapons, the balancing. There's no way an XM4 is getting beamed from halfway across the map by a Jackal. There's no way an XM4 loses that fight. There's just no way. But once again, it's typical, you know, kind of beta issues that we go through every year. It's kind of expected, right? Now, I didn't really play with the sniper rifles that much, but I will say it seems like anybody that I was going up against with a sniper rifle, didn't matter. I could have half a mag into them, didn't matter. They were doming me 100%. So I don't know if there's a flinch, really no flinch on these sniper rifles. Like I said, I didn't really play with them that much. I maybe used it like twice, so I didn't really get a good feel on that. But to me, I was just like, holy shit, man. Like, I'm putting, you know, 8 rounds into this dude or whatever it might have been. I could be exaggerating, but I'm putting a lot of rounds on this guy and he's still absolutely demolishing me. Some of you guys might like that. It might bring back, you know, the old Call of Duty vibes. That's just me personally. It was just kind of weird. The weapons in themselves, I thought felt good. Let's just get them balanced out. Like I said, again, typical beta issue. Once they're balanced out, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with these weapons. My negative number 2 is going to kind of piggyback off my first negative, which was the maps, is the spawns. The spawns are absolutely horrible. I know I kind of already hint about it in, you know, my negative number 1, but I got to talk about it, man. These spawns are horrible. Once again, it's kind of a beta issue, right? We kind of go through this quite often. It's probably going to get fixed for the most part, but it seems like as of recent, Call of Duty has had a pretty bad spawn problem. Generally, they fix them a little bit and they're a little bit better, but it also depends on the game modes that you play as well. I don't know what was going on here. You go to Babylon and you get them in that corner, it's over, man.
What do you mean by that?
It's over. They're just trapped. It reminds me of fucking Albagra Fortress all over again. These spawns are atrocious. That's all I think I really need to say about it. Like I said, once again, 4 years of development on this, and that's what we got. That, you know, I get it. I get it. It's a beta, but with the time that you had in on it, I just don't think that should have been an issue. Now, my third and final positive is going to be quality of life. Now, you might be asking, what do you mean by that? Well, let's start with UI. Black Ops 6 has an awesome UI. Thank you, Treyarch, for doing that, because whatever this shit show of Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, and Warzone we have going on is absolutely atrocious. I think like Hulu came in on that or something, and I don't know. It is absolutely atrocious. You still can't find a Resurgence tab if you want to play Resurgence. If you want to switch over to Big Map, it's like buried, and next thing you know, you're loading into DMZ on Modern Warfare. It's atrocious. So anything is better than what we had, correct? Like I said, it's a quality of life. Is it going to ruin your life? Absolutely not. Is it annoying? 100%. Now, to piggyback on that, let's jump into the devs. I'm going to give you your flowers here, but just hold the phone a second. So, opening weekend came. The Jackal was way overpowered, like I said, beaming the XM4 from Narnia. It was absolutely absurd. But they took that information and balanced the weapon, which was nice. They buffed the C9, you know, etc. They took that feedback quick, made changes quick. Now, I gave you your flowers. Thank you for doing that. But here's where you're going to get torched. Sledgehammer did the same thing, right? We all remember with Modern Warfare 3, when it first came out, they were on the ball with everything. Just boom, 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 fix it. And we're like, finally, they're listening. They're changing after that disaster of Infinity Ward. They're finally listening and making the changes that we want and that we need for this game to be enjoyable. In my personal opinion, as Modern Warfare 3 went on, Sledgehammer just kind of stepped back, kept fading off into the shadows. And it just turned into, you know, kind of the same thing that we already have. The anti-cheat is trash. I'm running into number 1 ranked level 135 on Rebirth Island. And it's just, I don't know. It feels like everything just kind of went downhill. I know the anti-cheat compared to, you know, the stuff that they're doing with the game, balancing it. Yeah, I know there's different development teams working certain areas, but it just feels like they lost a grasp on it and stopped communicating with the community and the player base. Treyarch, hopefully you guys learned from that, and especially Infinity Ward's disaster previously, that keep up on it and let us enjoy a title, please, for the love of God. My third and final negative is going to be connection and server issues. I was having some horrible packet bursts and just a lot of weird things happening to where, you know, Jackal versus Jackal, I would have, you know, the first 5-6 shots on this guy, and I'm still pumping hit markers left and right, maybe miss a few shots, but not many, and this guy wins with 5 rounds. Makes absolutely zero sense. Same weapon, same range, and I'm getting gunned down with 5 rounds when I had 15 rounds in him. Made absolutely zero sense. There was also a lot of skipping for me, a lot of just really weird latency issues, a lot of desync issues. So I actually heard a guy when I came around a corner, dove around the corner and gunned him down. And he's like, how? He wasn't even around the corner yet. So obviously there was a desync issue there. I had some issues with that as well, to where I'm like, how'd that guy even see me? He wasn't even around the corner yet, you know? So obviously there's issues with that all the time. I don't know if it was just more prominent here because it was the beta and they're trying to figure everything out. But I will say with Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, I don't really seem to have that issue. Now, Black Ops 6, it was definitely there. It was pretty bad, and for a while there, I was trying to figure out my frame rates and why they were so low. Got that figured out. I thought maybe that was the fix for it, but hopefully they can fix that and get on top of that, like I said previously, with them really listening to feedback. Right now, I think it should get fixed and shouldn't be as big of an issue. You're always going to have issues with that no matter what. It's pretty much unquestionable that at some point you're going to have an issue with that. It's just how much, right? So that will be my third and final negative. Let's get to the overall of this game. Do I think it's a good game? Do I think it's a bad game? I'm gonna be honest. For 4 years of development, I didn't think it was very good. Now, I will say I'm kind of biased just by my time in the military, and when I grew up, I'm a Modern Warfare fan. I love it. Now, obviously, with the contrary of like the new Modern Warfare 2, which was completely ass, it's just where my love is in the Modern Warfare era, right? Black Ops I still like. I just haven't been as big as a fan. I didn't have that love for Black Ops like I did the Modern Warfare series. But I'll die on this hill, man. 4 years. 4 years of development. If you put 4 years into this, it was very unproductive and very lazy 4 years. To be honest, I think y'all should probably lose your job because it's not a 4-year development game. It's just my opinion. Hopefully it corrects itself now that the beta is over. They got the feedback. Like I said, hopefully it corrects itself, and I'll eat my words on that. Is it a good game? No. Is it a bad game? No. I would say, honestly, I'll give it a 6.6 to 6.5 is kind of where I'm at right now. I will say if the movement is reverted back to like the opening weekend and those changes and weird things aren't there, the delays, I'd probably be at like 7.5. I still don't think it's a great game, but that movement definitely made it for me and the player that I am. I would definitely raise it back up, but just the weird weekend 2 that we had and all the issues that I was having, the movement not feeling as good, I'm at a 6.5. I personally hate to burst, the Black Ops fans' bubbles. I don't think it's that good. Am I still going to play it? Absolutely. I'm still going to play Warzone. I'm still going to have fun with it, and I hope things correct themselves. Like I said, I hope the dev team is on top of it, and we get to really enjoy a title. I'm definitely optimistic for the future, but as it looks right now, I'm pretty negative on where it stands right now, unfortunately. I hate to be that way. I'm not that type of guy, but just being realist and an honest opinion, that's where I'm at. Hopefully we can enjoy this game, and that's my honest review on Black Ops 6 and my 3 positives, 3 negatives. Let's go enjoy the game.